come from a long, long way, and I would like to talk about that. Not call this interview started from the bottom. Started from the bottom, now we're here. But almost, you know. Yeah. Because I was amazed by your beginnings. Everybody is always talking to you about the success, but nobody talks to you about what made you go to this success. And is it true that when you were a kid, you were discriminated because of the color of your hair?
Yeah, do you know what? Like, when you go to school, everyone finds something wrong with someone. Like, everyone has one thing that they can get picked on for. I just had about like 5 things you can get picked on for. So yeah, school was like, primary school was bad, but high school was all right. High school, I learned how to play guitar and kind of joined in with the cool kids, I guess. But yeah, primary school, I was really weird.
Like what?
Well, I went to a very sporty primary school, so it was very driven behind like being sporty. And I was born without an eardrum and had it replaced when I was younger and just couldn't play sport. I wasn't allowed to like get it knocked, so that stopped me from being involved with anything. But yeah, and I had really big glasses and bright ginger hair. I was really short. Yeah, but I feel like that sort of stuff strengthens you as a human being. You know, you end up having a sense of humor.
And I think that's what makes you so chill when you're doing all this promotion and interview. Like, you know what does it mean to be here, and what does it take.
Well, also I know that it doesn't really mean anything. Like it's.
Yeah, but
like,
I don't imagine you as freaking out as a pop star or.
No, I mean I definitely have my moments. Everyone has their moments, but like as long as I keep bringing it back to like what I started out in here for, like I always freak out when I'm doing stuff that has nothing to do with what I love. You know, I love writing music, I love playing music, I love singing music, and it's all the stuff in between that makes you freak out because it's not what you signed up for. You know, so that I definitely have my moments, but when I bring it back to why I started in the first place, it makes sense.
But when you live that life, do you still have time to listen and write music? And
yeah, actually, I mean, I've probably been writing more now than I ever have before. I just think you need to like really book in the time to do it. So whenever I have a free moment, I'm in the studio, and I think if I didn't do that, I wouldn't be writing at all. But I feel as long as you make yourself do it, you can be quite inspired.
Because you're very productive since the beginnings. And how does a song comes to your mind? I saw that you can write on your kitchen. Out of mind, I'll do it all for you in time. And out of all these things I've done. How does it come?
Starts off with chords, I guess, and then I'll scatter melody over the chords, and then words will fit into the melody, and then you'll just kind of structure it from there. But it's it differs song by song. I find recently it really helps if I record the guitar down and then sing over it rather than do both at once. Yeah.
And when you acting this way to do your music, what does big producer like Rick Rubin or Pharrell can bring to you? What do they bring to you? Like some beats?
People like, yeah, no, it's not.
Some structure?
Yeah, like producers never really come to you with beats. I feel like good producers sit down with you and make a beat around what you want to do with you. So I've been working a lot with this guy Benny Blanco, and we'll make every song from scratch. So I'll go in there with a guitar, and we'll just literally just start off with an idea, and the drums are actually probably the last thing that get added. It's usually melodic first, and then the drums.
And you have something in the flow that you have, which is really close in a weird way. Don't think this question is weird, but in a weird way to rap music. This love is a blaze. I saw flames from the side of the stage, and the fire brigade comes in a couple of days. Until then, we got nothing to say and nothing to know, but something to drink and maybe something to smoke. In the way you put your rhymes.
Well, I listen to a lot of rap music, and there's certain things in my music that are not similar to rap music.
Darling, I will be loving you till we're 70.
In terms of like
melodies,
no, just like themes. You know, I can't rap about being a gangster. You know, but like.
But you can rap about being a ginger.
No, but you can rap about like storytelling. I find the best kind of rap is storytelling, and the best kind of singer-songwriting is storytelling. So if you can fuse the two, it can be quite interesting.
But I gave her my time for 2 or 3 nights, then I put it on pause until the moment was right. I went away for months until our paths crossed again.
The theme that you use in your songs are now popular in the rap. When you listen to Drake,
Yeah.
you can use that kind of songs right now.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I really like Drake's music. He's you know, he's definitely someone that I listen to quite a lot. Yeah, I'm interested to see what he comes out with next. Everything he does is always so different. And what I found with Drake is the first time I hear one of Drake's new songs, I don't get it. And then like 15 listens in, I then discover it and I'm like, oh shit, this is great. I remember hearing Hotline Bling for the first time and being like, I don't understand it.
You used to call me on my cell phone, late night when you need my love.
And then now I love it. So he's one of those sort of artists that it takes a couple of listens, and I think that's a good thing.
I know when that hotline blink, that can only mean one thing.
I saw you with The Weeknd on Instagram and pictures.
Yeah.
Are you doing something with him?
I did a song with The Weeknd for his album. It's called the song's called Dark Times.
In my dark time, baby, this is all I could be. Only my mother would love me for me.
But I was just with him in Toronto. I went out and guested on his show, which was fun.
In my dark time.
Because I think that you are the perfect example of the new pop artist, that who can bring these two worlds together. When you're doing the cover of Drunk in Love, you killed it.
Thank you.
You really killed it.
You got me faded, 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 baby, I want you. Nah. Drunk in love.
So how did it come to do a cover of Beyonce?
I like covering songs that are out of my comfort zone, but the Beyonce one was quite weird because I covered it and then I ended up playing it with her on this thing called the Global Citizen Festival.
Last thing I remember is our beautiful bodies burning over the globe. Drunk in love.
So what was weird about that is covering a song led to me playing with the artist that I covered. Like that was quite a strange moment.
And how do you react when you listen to people covering you? Tell me the truth, please.
Do you know what? There's an artist called Birdie who covered the A-Team, and I genuinely think she sung it better than I did.
Stuck in her daydream, been this way since 18, but lately.
Sometimes there's that where you listen to it and you're like, you actually do it better than I do it. Or there's sometimes where they'll completely change it and do something different with it, and that'll be interesting.
And out of all these things I've done, I think I love you better now.
I'm always flattered when someone covers it. Yeah, I like that.
Let's talk about the beginning again, when you started to sell your own records and touring and distribute your own music. Is it true that your manager from the time told you to change your style and your hair and everything?
Yeah, well, I've had a lot of people in my career that have all had opinions on what I should and shouldn't be doing, and I feel like you can follow that advice sometimes, but I think if you know exactly where you stand as an artist in the industry and you follow that, it can't really go wrong. So yeah, I didn't want to change. I didn't want to change the way I looked and the way I sounded just because it might have been successful, because I feel like if I'd have had success that way, I wouldn't have enjoyed it.
What is the weirdest advice that somebody told you when you say, man, fuck you, I don't want to do that?
I was told not to use the loop pedal. I use this thing called a loop station when I play live, so you kind of build up loops and stuff, and I was told not to use that, and that I've now used that up to playing places like Wembley Stadium. I feel like that's been my unique selling point, and if I'd have lost that, I wouldn't be where I am now.
And I heard that you were working in the homeless camp. Can you tell me about that?
That was like 2009. I wasn't necessarily working there. I was going there to play shows for the people that were staying at the homeless shelter. So it was you know, a few days of me going down and just playing music.
Yeah.
But it was a very eye-opening experience. I was 18 at the time, so I was very sort of like young and naive, and seeing all of it was very eye-opening.
What does it mean to be naive for you?
For me to be naive, I think being naive is just being young. When you haven't seen much of the world, you are quite naive. But I feel like the older you get, when you move out of home, basically you start to see real life. You know, your parents are very sheltering, and then when you escape that, you see real life, and yeah, you can learn. You feel more grateful to exist when you see real life. You know, you don't understand how privileged you are until you see someone who's really not in a fortunate position.
And as an English guy, how you watched by the US and this world?
Do you know what? I feel like the US watches English music more than we watch American music. I feel like, yeah, I feel like because in England we're allowed to be a bit more creative, because there's not, America's so big that you have to have a smash hit to have a smash hit, because there's like 50 different markets, all with different radio stations, and you have to get all the radio stations play the song, and then it takes about 6 months for the song to be a hit. So it really has to be a hit for it to like work. Whereas in England, it's like a 6-week campaign with like 4 radio stations, and it's quite simple. Not simple, but it takes a lot less time to have a hit. So we're allowed to be more creative, because if one thing doesn't work, we can go on to the next thing, and if that doesn't work, we can go on to the next thing. Where in America, it's a bit more cutthroat. So I feel like English artists, when we break over in America, we're doing something that the Americans haven't got, because we're allowed to be creative in our own country. So that in turn makes Americans watch what we're doing, I think. You know, that's why people like Adele or Mumford & Sons or Sam Smith or One Direction, all these acts are getting huge in America, and then America are trying to find their version of Mumford & Sons, or their version of Adele, or their version of One Direction. You know,
because the crazy thing in the US is like the new pop music is divided in 2 kinds. We have the black artists who come from the hip hop and the R&B, and you have the artists who come from England and doing pop. What's going on?
I don't know. I feel like
who's the Beatles and who's the Stones?
I don't know if we have any Beatles or Stones anymore, but I think we have. I don't know. We have Adele's now. I think Adele's someone who, you know, is paving the way for. She basically shows how well you can do. So Adele's like the benchmark. So when Adele's album comes out and sells what it sells, that's how much you should be selling. And you have to make an album as good as that and work as hard as that to get to that point, I think.
Could you work with her?
I think so, yeah. But you know, like Adele's one of these people who doesn't really work with anyone. You know, she can do her own stuff. So I think if that moment comes, I'm obviously not going to say no, but I don't think it's going to come.
And how do you explain this crazy thing with you? Is like every time I'm seeing a guy or a girl, the word who comes when he talks about you is like, you represent me. That's why I was talking about rap. Like, yeah. It's only like in rap that people say, he represents me.
I don't know. I think the key is not to be swept up in, you know, I'm an artist, but I'm still a human being. I'm not a pop star. You know, I'm still a normal guy that grew up in the countryside, and as all my friends are still the same. I drive a Mini Cooper, I shop in the same supermarket. I feel like the moment you lose that, you start losing your audience, because people can't relate to you. So you just have to be human, I think, as well as making music. You have to be you know, Adele the human rather than Adele the megastar.
Pink with thick ass, giving whiplash. I'm big, get cash, make them blink fast. Now look at what you just saw. This is what you live for.
And I feel like that's why she's worked as well.
You know, when I was a kid, people were laughing at me because I was fat and little, and people were laughing at you because you were ginger. And do you
and little as well.
And little. And do you laugh at the people who are telling you how you were the ginger? Do
you know what? I think when I was younger and success started coming, yeah, a little bit. But the thing is, I've bumped into all the people that were mean to me in school, and they've all grown up, and they're all getting married and having kids, and they've moved on with their lives, and they're actually nice people.
Yeah, but like you have the hot girls in your videos, and not them.
Yeah, but But I think that's kind of self-explanatory. I don't think you need to say that to them. I think they just see it, and
it was a joke.
Yeah, and it just understood. They understand it. But I feel like everyone grows up, and not everyone stays a dickhead forever. Some people do, but some people don't. So all the people that weren't nice to me in school are now pretty sound, and I see them, and we have pints, and they're good.
Because nobody talks about that kind of racism, you know, that you had to live.
Yeah. Well, I feel like everyone goes through that though. However big or however small, everyone at some point in their life is made to feel small, and I think it helps ground you as a human being.
And that's what makes the success of an artist like Mylène Farmer here. She's got red hair too, and people recognize through them. Tell me, what is the power of the red hair people? I don't understand.
I feel with redheads we have to have a sense of humour to get through life. Otherwise you spend your whole time being very pissed off and angry. So I feel like you have to have a sense of humour and have a personality. Yeah.
And is this sense of humour helped you in the music industry?
I think it's both helped and hindered me. I think, you know, it's definitely helped, but I've definitely said some things in my career that have been taken seriously that have damaged it. So I feel like you have to balance the sense of humour.
Let's talk about rap again. Tell me what's your best rap verse ever that you love, and if you can kick it.
The best, I really like that I've written.
No, that you.
It'd probably be Eminem's "Criminal."
Every time I write a rhyme, these people think it's a crime to tell them what's on my mind. I guess I'm a criminal.
It's the last verse. The windows tinted on my ride when I drive in it. So when I rob a bank, just run it and dive in it, and I'll be disguised in it. And if anybody identifies the guy in it, I'll hide for 5 minutes. Come back, shoot the eyewitness. Fire the private eye, hide the prime, my business. Die bitches, bastards, brass pets. This puppy's lucky I didn't blast his ass yet. If I ever gave a fuck, I'd shave my nuts, tuck my dick in between my legs and cluck. You motherfucking chickens ain't brave enough to stay the stuff I say, so this tape is shut. Shit, half the shit I say, I just make it up to make you mad. So kiss my white naked ass. And if it's not a rapper, I'ma make it ass. I'ma be a fucking rapist in a Jason mask. I'm a criminal. That one. Thank you.
You get it.
Nice one.
The show is called Clique. What's your definition of a clique?
Definition of a clique?
Yeah.
I don't think I'm in a clique. I think Big Sean and Kanye West and 2 Chainz. That's my definition of a clique.
If it's a woman, come to the microphone, give the talk to that sound.